Hello and welcome to Module 6 of Geography. In this module, we shall be discussing geography of countries in depth. That is, unpacking the complexity of nation. The module contents include political geography, where we will examine government borders and capitals. Then we will now look at demographic geography, where we will look at population distribution and density. We'll now look at economy and resources, where we'll look at agriculture, industry, trade. Then we'll also look at city and urbanization. We'll look at cultural geography, where we'll examine languages, religion, and traditions of the people before we now draw our conclusion. Let us begin with the introduction. That is more than just a map. So geography is more than just a map. It is beyond borders. A border or a country is a complex system where political power, human settlement, economies, and cultural intersect. Yes. So a country is a complex system where political power, human settlement, economies, and cultures intersect. The core question here is, how does geography shape and how is it shaped by? That is, how a country shapes geography and how geography in return shaped a country. That is the internal working of a nation. 5 analytical lenses here that we'll be looking at is political geography, where we'll examine power and space. We'll also look at demographic geography, where we'll look at people and place. Now we'll look at economic geography, that is production and exchange of goods. We'll look at urban geography, that is its growth and challenges, and also cultural geography, that is people's identity and meaning. Having known that, let us begin with political geography, that is power in space. Let us start by looking at what a state and a nation is. A state is a sovereign political unit with defined borders and government. Example, like Canada, while a nation is a group of states with shared identities such as culture, history. Nation states are very rare. Example is Japan. Now, forms of government that could exist in this state include unitary government, where power is centralized at the center. The countries of the world that practice unitary system of government is France and Japan. We also have federal government, where powers are shared. We also have federal government, where powers are shared between the central and the regional government. Some of the countries of the world that practice federal system of government include United States of America, India, and Nigeria. Then border is a line of sovereignty, control, and identity. So it is a line that differentiates the sovereignty of one country, control and identity of one country from another. It can be natural, like river, or artificial, like colonial straight line. Now, capital is a symbol of power. That is, it is the seat of power of a particular country, which can be historical, like Rome, private city like Paris, or planned city like Brasilia and Abuja. So capital can come in form of historical like the Rome, it can come in form of a primate city like Paris, or a planned city like Abuja and Brasilia. Now let us look at demographic geography. That is the people within a country. Population distribution refers to as where people live, shaped by physical factors such as climatic factor, water, economic factor like job and history. So population distribution is how people are spread across the globe. Now population density, on the other hand, refers to as how many people per area. So it refers to numbers of people living in a particular area within a particular period of time. It could be crude density, which can be in form of max internal clustering, like Egypt, Nile Valley. So a crude density can max internal clustering of people. Key visual tool is population pyramid. which can be in form of expansive, that is wide-based, which is include the youthful people, which characterized by a high growth population like that of Nigeria. It can also be constrictive pattern, which is narrow-based, including aging people, which is slow and negative growth like that of Japan. The power of migration is the rural-urban migration and that of international flow, which can constantly reshape nations' demography. So, power of migration ties on rural-urban migration and international flow. Rural-urban migration is the movement of people from rural area to urban area. Now, let us look at economic geography, which is the engine of a nation. The economic sector of any continent could be primary sector, which is the extraction of raw material from the sand and sea. It could be secondary sector, which is the manufacturing and production of what raw material into finished goods. It could be tertiary sector, which is the movement of goods and services and exchange of goods and services between the produce area and the demand area. Another sector of economy is the agricultural sector, which is from subsistence, that's local survival, to commercial global market. Another sector of the economy is the industrial sector, whose location factor shift from raw material to skilled labor, capital, and innovation. So these are some of the factors of the economy, some of the sectors of the economy. Now let us continue with the economic geography, the trade and resources, trade and globalization. Then under the trade and globalization, we have what we call comparative advantage, where countries specialize in what they can do best and leave the rest to other countries of the world to produce. We also have a term called global supply chain, whose production is fragmented across borders. Now let us look at the role of natural resources. Natural resources is the foundation of many economies. So most of the economies of the world is based on their natural resources. Example like Saudi Arabia, whose natural resources, whose based from oil, Australia from minerals. So natural resources can also lead to resources cost if not well managed. Sustainability management is critical for long-term development. So for you to achieve a long-term development, you should apply sustainability management of your natural resources in order to avoid resources costs. Having known that, let us look at cities and urbanization, the urban century. Urbanization is the movement of people from rural area to the urban area. It is the global shift to city living, most rapid in Africa and Asia. What causes urbanization? The primary cause of urbanization is what we call push factor, which is rural poverty. So it is the poverty in the rural area that push people to move from rural area to urban area. Another factor is what we call pull factor. Pull factor are opportunities in the city that pull people from rural areas to urban areas, such as urban jobs and some of the services rendered in urban areas. Now we have urban structure models. Some of these models include concentrated zone, which is based on bourgeoisie. We have sector zone, which is Hyatt. Then we have multiple nuclei, which is based on Harris and Oman. And we have global variation exists. So this global variation exists model emphasizes that there are different opportunities as well as different development among cities of the world. Example, Latin American city model. So these are some of the models of urbanization. Now let us look at challenges and some of the promise of cities. That is challenges and some benefits of cities. Now, urban challenges include slums and informal settlement. So, slums and informal settlement is a serious challenge that is posing urban areas. Another one is infrastructural strain, such as strain in transportation, water, and waste disposal. So infrastructural strength pose another serious challenge to urbanization. Now, population and inequality is another challenge in urban cities. So urban settlement can result to population pollution and inequality. Some areas uh, 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 are densely populated while others are sparsely populated, as well as resources are scarce in some urban areas while resources are adequate in some urban areas. Some of the opportunities that could be found in urban area include it is a center for innovation, culture, and economic productivity. So innovation, economic productivity, and advances culture could be found in urban area. Another opportunities in urban area is that it is a potential for sustainability. That is efficient public transit, green building. So there are some essential services that could be rendered in urban areas, unlike the rural area. The key need is effective, inclusive urban planning. So there is need for effective and inclusive urban planning in order to reduce pollution, inequality, informal settlement, and infrastructural strength. Now let us look at cultural geography, that is the fabric of society. The culture of the people include language, which is the maker of identity and history. So language is what differentiates people from another set of what people. Now we have official versus national language. So we have the official language is the language used by the government, and that of national language, which is the mother tongue language. Now we have lingua franca, which is the combination of the official language and that of a mother language. That is a language that is acceptable in a particular nation. Example, English, Swahili for cross-group communication. Now let us look at religion. Religion is another aspect of people's identification. It is universalizing, seeking converts. Examples of religion we have is Christianity, Islam, uh, Buddhism, etc. Then ethnic is tied to a group like Hinduism and Judaism. So this is ethnic group. It shapes law, custom, holidays, and cultural landscape. That is the architecture and sacred space. Another aspect of geography is the culture, that is the tradition and change. We have folk versus popular culture. Folk culture refers as the local tradition which is tied to the what the environment of the people. Then the popular culture is the globalized mass produced which is spread through media. Now we have cultural landscape. Cultural landscape is the visible human imprint, building, agricultural pattern, place names that reflect culture. We also have culture. Culture is dynamic. Yes, one of the features of culture is that it is dynamic in nature, which is constantly evolving through migration, trade, technology, and globalization, leading to both cultural exchange and homogenization pressures. In conclusion, the in-depth geography of countries review them as living, evolving systems, not just static shape on a map. This framework empowers us to analyze complexity, predict challenge, and appreciate diversity. In an interconnected world, understanding the internal dynamics of nations is not just academic. It is essential for cooperation, sustainability, and shared prosperity on our planet. Thank you, and God bless you.